This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. Get ready. It is the biggest gathering of international leaders in San Francisco since the UN Charter was signed more than 65 years ago. APEC kicks off this weekend. There is a lot at stake for the city, which is still trying to reinvent itself after a pandemic slump. Now, leaders of more than 20 nations will attend, and security will be unlike anything we have seen before. You may have already noticed the signs and some closures, but it will really ramp up Monday. So be prepared for checkpoints and other security measures around the Moscone Center in Soma, the Fairmont Hotel in Nob Hill, the Legion of Honor at Land's End, and the Embarcadero between Piers 19 and 23. And with so many eyes on San Francisco, it's important that the city puts its best face forward. Today, UN Plaza reopened with a new look. It now has this: a skate park, a fitness area, ping pong, and chess, along with other activities. This area had been known for attracting drug users. The hope is that the renovation will make it more family and tourist friendly. So another challenge for the city to bring back that vibrant atmosphere to downtown. According to the latest numbers by real estate broker CBRE, office vacancy is still at 34%. But about 2 months ago, the city launched a program to bring small businesses into vacant storefronts. And as Max Darrow tells us, it seems to be working.
The homemade sourdough bread is a staple at Hillary Passman's Devil's Teeth Baking Company.
Tuna melts, grilled cheese, and if people want their egg sandwiches on it, avocado toast.
She's served customers in the Outer Sunset and Outer Richmond for a while, and now Passman is diving headfirst into downtown.
It's busy down here. It's not dead.
She's in charge of one of the 17 pop-ups downtown as a part of the Vacant to Vibrant program, one strategy the city is trying out to revitalize and reimagine downtown. Businesses like hers get 3 months of free rent to fill vacant spaces downtown, and so far, she says the experience has exceeded her expectations.
I think that the doom loop has definitely been blown way out of proportion. We were stunned at the amount of traffic that we've had. So we're still trying to catch up.
But about a month in play, have the 17 pop-ups produced more foot traffic downtown?
What kind of milk?
Carlos Isava Hernandez, who runs Coffee Bodega in business downtown for about a year and a half, says.
Personally, I haven't seen the impact of it, honestly.
However, he says he has seen some changes downtown in recent months.
It's getting better. People feel more comfortable coming downtown. What I have seen is better, more cleanness, a little more security, a little more response.
Some progress that aligns with his bigger plan.
Do you have a long-term plan to stay here downtown?
Yes, definitely.
Why?
It will turn around. It's a matter of time.
In terms of time, Simon Bertrand, the executive director of SF New Deal, which is helping spearhead the pop-up program, says we are still in the beginning stages of reimagining downtown San Francisco, and the pop-ups are just one piece of the bigger puzzle.
It's not a silver bullet, it's not the one solution, but I think it is a contribution. We definitely know that the pop-up businesses are drawing traffic.
It hasn't been perfect. While some of the pop-ups are flourishing, others are experiencing challenges.
Most of the challenges have to do with whether or not there's the foot traffic to sustain small businesses downtown.
However, several pop-ups are seeing enough success, they're exploring permanent locations downtown.
In this crisis of downtown needing to recover, there's also an opportunity for small businesses from San Francisco neighborhoods, for artists, for cultural organizations to come downtown and participate in a way that they couldn't have before the pandemic.
Like I said, it's been good for us.
Like Passman and Devil's Teeth.
Everybody's been super helpful and great and wants us to succeed, and we would love to be able to stay here.
A promising sign for her business.
This is a really good location.
And potentially for the prognosis of downtown's future.
And Max says there is a plan to expand the program. Applications are currently being accepted for grants for a new round of pop-ups set to open in January. All right, let's go to San Jose now, where a plan to build thousands of new homes has been slashed to just a fraction of that, and city leaders may not have much to say in this matter. The development is planned at the current site of the San Jose Flea Market, not far from the Berryessa BART station. As Leslie Gooden explains, the developer is now using what's called the builder's remedy to downsize the project.
You're looking at the San Jose Flea Market, where week after week, different vendors gather here. And that could look differently with the city looking to add thousands of housing units here. But even that plan is in jeopardy. Councilmember David Cohen represents District 4 in San Jose, where the San Jose Flea Market is located.
The agreement was set up in 2021.
And it was approved to have 3,500 housing units developed here. That is until the developer announced it wants to reduce that number to 940 units, citing cost concerns.
You know, if it means waiting a few years until interest rates come down and cost of construction it stabilizes, I think that's the right thing to do.
David says the developer plans to take advantage of the builder's remedy law. This happens when a city fails to create a state-approved housing plan. Then the city will be required to approve the housing projects as long as at least 20% of the homes are low income or 100% of them are moderate income.
But to take a site that had 3,500 units of housing planned and use this law to downsize to 1,000 units is actually opposite of what the state intended. So we'll have to see whether the state corrects this and makes it so that they can't move forward with this project.
And when we asked what exactly does this mean for the flea market and its vendors,
the agreement was set up in 2021 is that the vendors would get a 1-year notice before the flea market would close down. And so they would get that notice, and they would, you know, have time to prepare. And so they have not been given that notice yet. The soonest they could be given that notice would be January.
Dry mango, we have a mango with peach.
So on Wednesday, we went to the flea market and spoke to Martin, a vendor who says during the week it's hard finding customers. So what are you going to do?
I don't know yet, because we don't know exactly when it's going to happen. Could be 1 year, 2 years.
He says his family has been running this stand for 10 years.
We have to look for do something different or keep doing this, but in a different places.
And because of the state law, the power and decision is now in the developer's hands.
That's shutting down the flea market, but not getting the full benefit of this site and living up to the promise we made to the taxpayers who paid the $1 billion for the BART station is not appropriate.
The builder's remedy was originally intended to allow developers to bypass restrictive local zoning laws to boost the housing supply. A Caltrain collision this evening in Burlingame, and here's a look from above. The northbound 409 train collided with 3 vehicles at Broadway, and you can see one of the damaged vehicles on the tracks. The scene is clear now. Passengers were transferred to the next stop. None of the passengers were hurt, but one of the drivers was taken to the hospital. So General Motors is pulling nearly 1,000 of their Cruise vehicles off the road to update their safety software, which would stop them from pulling to the side of the road after an accident, which is what the software is currently set up to do. So this comes after one of their vehicles here in San Francisco kept driving after a woman was pinned under the car after she was hit by another vehicle. All right, I want to get to some big news from Hollywood tonight. This is big. The actors' strike coming to an end. SAG-AFTRA has reached a tentative agreement with the major studios. A 3-year contract agreement must be approved by votes from the Actors Union Board and members. Details of the agreement have yet to be released. The strike lasted nearly 4 months. It was by far the longest strike ever for film and television actors. So if you live in the East Bay, you may have seen the smoke. The fire today at 7-Eleven that had firefighters very busy.